For instance, let's talk about first steps.
Okay.
So you just hired an attorney. What are the first things that you need to do as the client?
Okay. So let's assume here we're talking about a personal injury case, like an auto accident or something like that.
Sure.
So initially, the first thing to think about right after the days following hiring your attorney is just not to talk to an insurance company. Your attorney should be right out of the gate informing the insurance companies involved of their representation. The problem is sometimes there is a delay there. That could be days, maybe even a week before the information of the representation of an attorney gets to the actual claim handler that you may have been dealing with before.
Why is that?
And sometimes it's a delay within the insurance company. You know, something gets faxed in and it gets passed around and sits on someone's desk. Sometimes, you know, you and I have talked about it possibly could be, you know, not necessarily malicious, but on purpose, that they just don't realize that you're represented. And you know, you may have already been, you as the client, I'm going to use you a lot as the client. You may have already been in contact with an adjuster. You may have already been talking about fixing your car or you know, your property damage. And so you may have already been in contact with that adjuster. You may have already gotten some things in the mail. You may have gotten a questionnaire about your medical treatment. You may have gotten a release for them to get your medical records. So there's different things that you may have already gotten in the mail. And so it's critical after you've hired an attorney basically just to cut off all contact with any insurance company, even your own, if you have, say, like I said, a property damage claim or something like that. Because we've had cases where, you know, after hiring us, they've received something in the mail, the clients receive something in the mail, and they think, oh, it must be okay for me to respond to this.
Because they've talked to a lawyer.
Because they've talked to the lawyer, and they just assume that as soon as they walk out of our office doors that everything coming from an insurance company is going to be approved or cleared by us. Mm-hmm. So the big thing is just in those first few days, the first step is just to continue to not contact or be in contact with the insurance company. Mm-hmm. And at least until, like I said, you know, they recognize our representation or your attorney's representation. So